Hey guys, I just wanted to check in and talk to you a little bit about the papers because I know everybody gets concerned and worried about those. We just had a little bit of a meeting today talking about it because we all have you write papers for these different classes that you have. So just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview. These papers are meant to teach you something. Okay, when we have you write about something, it's meant for you to look at all this different material and kind of get into it and learn something from it. Just like if you took a quiz or if we had you read an article and answer questions, it's just a different form of learning. And studies show that you actually learn more from having to put information together like this rather than just regurgitate it for a test or just memorize it and regurgitate it for a test. So as you get into these papers, and I do know they're intimidating for everybody, try to approach it with that view that I'm supposed to learn something from this. That's the sole reason for making you do it. The APA stuff, though it's important, it's probably the least important part. I want you to get exposure to it, and I want you to be able to at least understand a little bit about what you're doing. Grammar, spelling, those kinds of things you should be watching for when you're writing it. It should pop up, it should underline it, so you can even edit yourself that way. It's really, really important to find an editor that you will use all the way through all of these classes. Somebody needs to read this before you turn it in, and that's what I've been trying to do by having you have somebody sign it so that I know you have an editor to the best of my ability. I can't, really check it, but you want to have somebody read it. I write tests all the time for the radiography classes, and I can look at it, but until I give it, I never catch my mistakes because I've looked at it too many times. I don't have time to have another teacher look at it, but just know you look at something, you live with it long enough, you can't see all the little things that you're missing. Your brain just skips over it. So just as you're getting ready to write this, a couple of things to remember. Try to just sit down and write what you think. That's not what you're going to turn in, but as opposed to trying to, I don't really care if you quote anybody. I want to know what your brain has put together by reading these 5 different articles and looking at these 5 different sources. That's what I want to know. I want to know what you're getting out of this, what you're pulling together comparing the United States to Sweden or Luxembourg. So as opposed to getting totally bogged down in the APA part, it's still important. It's not going to be that big a part of the grade, but it is a part of your grade. It's more important that you sit down and get something out of this. So as you read these articles, make some notes from your 5 resources, and then run it by somebody. Just sit and talk to somebody about it and go, well, this is what I'm supposed to be doing for class. Here's this interesting thing I found, and I kind of want to talk through it with somebody to compare it. You kind of always think I got to get it all down on paper right away, but synthesizing it, my favorite word, by talking it out with somebody can really get you to that, oh, I get that out of that. It can draw you in to what your point is of your paper. Do that first also. Sit down and just write a paragraph. Again, it doesn't have to be part of your paper, but just write a paragraph and say, this is what I think, what I got from what I've read. So I hope you'll reach out if you have any questions. I want all of you to use Elizabeth Birch if you need to. She is our writing expert. She is here. That's what her job is. You email her your paper. She'll take a look at it, give you some suggestions. She's not going to be able to, with all of you and everybody else at ResU, read your paper completely and completely edit and fix everything. So you can't just send it to her without having edited it yourself or had somebody look at it for you. But she can look at it and go, okay, your structure's a little weird here. Here's how you could fix this. But I highly, highly recommend you using her. I'd also like for you to have made that contact with her so that you've done that for any other classes that come up. You're able to do it and use her for any other class that you have when you have to write something. You've broken the barrier and you've contacted her. So anyway, that's it for this week. Next week's Thanksgiving. I hope everybody's gonna have a little time off. I know you all have so much on your plate with doing this bachelor's degree and working full-time and families and all of that, but I'm proud of you. You're doing really good so far. I'll talk to you soon.